So she moved into my house that I was already paying the bills for, right? She moved into my life. So I've already taken so much, in my opinion, so much off of her plate. But I wasn't looking for some woman with wild, lavish dreams of flying all over the world. That's not what I was looking for. I was looking for a wife. And when I found exactly what I wanted, I made sure nobody else could actually also find her because she's been found. So when you say it sounds like money, maybe it is. But with her resources and her own money, she's able to go do some of the other things we're able to go do some of the other things. Because
I think
I still manage. I Once we got married, I actually manage her bank account.
I don't.
I manage all of that.
It's a
So I
different.
mean, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I need the house to run a very specific way, and she makes sure that it does. And she gets along with my ex, and the kids love her. What are we talking about? There isn't anything else more that any man could ask for, because personally, I've made every mistake a middle-aged man could make. So when I'm talking here and I'm on these panels, I'm talking from the perspective, young man, don't make the same mistakes I made unless that's just what you want to do. If you want to go out and run through women and you're not really looking for anything in particular, I'm not going to stop you. Hey, that's your nature. I get it. I get it, but I don't want women running around doing that, because while I think that they have urges and cravings that need to be met, I don't think that being bust down by the whole planet is in their nature. But if you gave a man and gave him all the women in the world, he'd run through as many as he could before he died. For the most part, just my opinion. Y'all go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you, Shan. And is my mic
No.
softer now, HD? I tried to turn it down.
No, it's good. It's good right now.
Okay.
It's not.
So
It's not
what's
bad.
your opinion, Luke? We can go around and then I'll say it.
So I, I I I was listening for a while before I came up. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I think most women today are really seeking sponsorship and not partnership.
I don't know. True.
I think a lot more women today are seeking help, i.e., sponsorship, than partnership. Because if we look at the landscape of how many people are single, like not attached to anybody, not creating any sort of, fruitful long-term investment, is very slim. And if you're in that pool of people who have found their person and they're building and it's going in the direction that you wanted it to be heading, whether it's marriage, long term relationship, whatever the case may be, and it's working for you, you are in the minority. What you describe, AP, with your wife is absolutely beautiful. I love that for you, bro. You speaking about it should inspire a lot of other people as well. But I'm gonna be honest too. I don't think a lot of women qualify for that kind of treatment. Some don't even. Some don't. Some are gonna have to contribute. Some don't even have the domestic skills to receive that kind of treatment. Let's be honest. Just think
So
about how. Just think about it for a second. How are some of these women cultured? How are some of these women raised? What is the mindset in the social programming that is being bestowed upon them and passed down to them, that ultimately becomes their underpinning of how they view and see relationships, right? The the idea the idea and concept of taking care of a woman is not a bad idea, gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of a woman is actually a pretty good concept. Taking care of a woman who has to be taken care of I think it's a bad investment.
So, Luis, just real quick, and I think you kind of touched on it. I just want you to deep dive a little bit further, if you don't mind. Yeah, you said that women are more seeking more like sponsorships. Um, would you say that is because most of them aren't raised or groomed to be wives?
They don't even necessarily have to be raised or groomed to be wives. I would even take it a step further back. I think some don't even know what a healthy relationship looks like. Some never grew up seeing that, whether it's in their own home, whether it's amongst their aunts and uncles. I wonder sometimes what the conversation is like when they go visit their aunties, or they separate and have conversations just among the girls. Girl, your uncle Roger, he ain't shit. So,
Oh,
excerpt, right? And sort of, if you grew up in a circle around individuals who speak ill about certain people in their lives, then what kind of outcome, are you going to have? Now, mind you, that's not everybody's experience, but for a lot of people, unfortunately, who don't know what that looks like, or have elected to be around people who have that kind of foundational base, like me and Shannon Monet was talking about the other weekend. I think that that's very important, but we have to be very honest. I think that the value systems, and I speak of value systems very, very loosely, in terms of how we view relationships, how we view family, how we view family creation, how we view community, right? That looks different. If I pulled 20 random people from all different parts of the country, or even within the same geographical zip code, and I asked them, what are your family's values and systems? The dude could be living down the street. It will all be completely different. And sort of, it now becomes this sort of, um, postmodern kind of way of thinking of that we're not really closer to the center. Like, some people might deviate, right church, different pew, right? But at the end of the day, the kind of the synergy is still the same. You know what I'm saying? There is a nucleus around the value of family relationships and building relationships. And it's hard to build a romantic relationships when your personal relationships with your parents, your siblings, your neighbors, your close friends isn't strong, and isn't rooted in transparency, communication, etc. It's hard to build upon a romantic relationship when all those other areas in your life are lacking, and you don't know how to resolve any of those conflicts within those. So how are you?